I have one other thing, and I was going to say it at the end of the discussion Mr. Clough, Mr. Sly, and Mr. LaBeouf had on the clock. And I'm not saying this in an effort to pile on councilmen or anything else. I have a problem with the way this is playing out, in that we've got a member of the city council negotiating or doing whatever he's doing with the city attorney, but he's doing it as the head of his employer, the church over there, and the rest of the council is also talking to the city attorney saying what should be done, telling the city manager what should be done. I think it's too confusing for me to follow, and I would really suggest that this is one of these instances, because we all have conflicts in life. There's no doubt about it. And conflicts can be solved and cured in a variety of ways through disclosure and recusal. And this new law what's the new law that took effect last year that we went to the seminar on? Whatever it was, resulted, for instance, over in the Watertown Trust, when one of those bankers
Public Authorities Law.
Yeah, has a part of a deal. Not only do they not vote on it, they also physically remove themselves. I think that the way this is playing out should be, whether it should be looked at by the Board of Ethics or something, to make a recommendation. But I'm uncomfortable with the whole discourse, because we all have relationships with the manager, Mr. Sly, and our fellow council members. Mr. LaBeouf is in a difficult spot, I will conclude, as well. I think it, I'm not saying anybody's doing anything wrong. I'm just saying it should be looked at as to how it should be handled, because I'm uncomfortable with a council member also being the representative or agent for the property that's being negotiated for. I don't know if I'm expressing myself clearly enough, Mr. Sly, but can you understand my consternation?
Well, I do, Mr. Mayor. Candor, I don't know who I'll be dealing with on behalf of the church. I don't know if there is a board of trustees that has responsibility for the real property and not the pastor. I mean, several denominations have that sort of arrangement. So
that was Mr. Hartzell's part of his question today in regard to.
Right. So I don't know who I'll be dealing with in connection with a lease, and so I can't answer your question, Mr. Mayor, without knowing the answer to that question.
And I can clarify that, because I'll clarify the role that I'm attempting to play, and the only role that I want to play is that of liaison, attempting to bring the parties together. We have an insurance carrier, Church Mutual. We have a representative. He does do a lot of traveling. He happens to be on vacation. But we have conveyed all of the information to him that Mr. Sly has asked that they need to provide to him. So that part is happening. I'm not directly talking with Mr. Sly. I also have had to, on occasion, provide some information to Mr. Hartzell for their sides of things. But what will be dealt with, we have a board of directors that hold the real estate and all property. So I will not be involved in the signing of any paperwork or negotiations, just helping to bring the parties together. And that's a role that I'm proud to play.
Mr. Mayor, I think probably the easiest solution is that if I know who that individual is, we can write them a letter and begin the communications there and open that door. And
well, sometimes these when you say Board of Ethics, it somehow it implies that somebody's like a bad person. But you ask for opinions to deal with these type of situations. I think we got a situation. I don't want to see the councilman get himself in an awkward spot. Just the way I feel about it. If nobody else feels that way, that's fine, and we can continue on. But that's just the way I feel about it. And
send it to the Board of Ethics and ask them what if so, what part he should be discussing or playing. I understand the liaison, and I understand your point, Mr. Mayor, of the difficulty of, yeah, you have a board, but you're kind of, you look at the church, and when people see the church, they see you kind of the pastor as sort of the head of the church and the spokesperson and that is somewhat of an awkward position. I guess it's not to suggest that anything is that you're doing something wrong. It's just, okay, what should, as a council person and a representative of the city, at the same time holding this other position, what should you or shouldn't you be discussing, or should you or should you not be partaking in terms of issues regarding the lease and that?
Well, I mean, any issue can
In the
be...
end, the church said,
Yeah.
the Board of Ethics can come and say, you
They just-
shouldn't do that, you should assign someone from the church, and you say, no, I want to do it myself. That's your decision.
Right.
But it's
It's just
public
advisory.
perception is, maybe you shouldn't, maybe someone else. I'm not saying that's what it is, but maybe someone from that board should be the representative for that.
Well, I'll tell you, if we're talking about public perception, and you can't get everyone to agree 100% on anything, the majority of people that I've spoken with are extremely happy that we are pursuing this, that we are having a local individual with many years of
I don't think
experience.
anybody's
No,
arguing
that's
that
not my
point at all.
Okay, but what I'm saying is they're well aware of my role in helping to just bring folks together. I am not the authority on our board that will be signing any paperwork. I appreciate the mayor's quote-unquote concern for me, but the issue is what we have before us. We have been thrown a perfect forward pass by Mr. Dean and by Knowlton Specialty Papers to save the taxpayers of this city dollars. And we will press forward, we will get the parties together, and it will be completed. And again, it's just an issue of dotting some I's and crossing some T's and getting all of the legal folks to say, sign off on it.
Okay. All right, anything else? Mr. Scarborough?
Move to adjourn.
Question?
Yes.
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 No.